Let's go. Mom.
Hi, my name is Hannah Hardy, and for my communications how-to project, I decided to make a non-bake cookie. Non-bake cookies are delicious and they're super simple to make. It's basically oats, chocolate, and a few more ingredients, but I changed it up a bit and added Nutella instead because it gives it an extra kick. Before I get into the ingredients, you're going to went ahead and get a saucepan out, and you're going to preheat that and heat it up to about a high heat because you're going to need to boil a few ingredients later. So while you're getting that started, I'm going to get you through the ingredients. You're going to need a half a cup of granulated sugar. You're going to level that off, and to do that, just get a knife. With the back of the knife, scrape that through the top of the measuring cup. And whatever falls out, you do not need in the recipe because you need pretty precise measurements. A half a cup of non-fat milk. 2 teaspoons of butter. I used salted. If you prefer unsalted, that's fine. You're just going to add a pinch of salt later to bring the boil a little higher and faster. 1.5 cups of oats and a half a cup of Nutella. Nutella is just a chocolate hazelnut spread. It's really delicious, but it's pretty pricey. And if you don't want to pay $3 for this 13-ounce jar, there's also General Brands for Walmart and Food Lion that you can get. That's about $1 cheaper. After you heat it up, your saucepan, you're going to add your milk, your sugar, and your butter. Stir that in and let it sit for a little bit. It'll take about 2 minutes to get to a boil because there's hardly going to be any in the pan at all. Let it boil for at minimum a minute and at the most about a minute and a half. Any more than a minute and a half is going to scorch the sugar and the milk, and it's just going to turn the whole recipe off. Afterwards, turn it off and add your Nutella. With your Nutella, you're going to stir that in really, really nicely. At first, it's going to be really chunky, but the more you stir, the more it will melt, and it'll be a really nice, smooth consistency. Afterwards, you're going to add your 1.5 cups of oats to that mixture. Keep mixing that up until it gets to a doughy consistency. You want it to be pretty thick. And then, with a tablespoon, you're going to scoop them out. You're not going to have to let it sit for too long because after you let it sit, after it's done boiling, and you add the oats, it'll harden everything up. So with a tablespoon, you're just going to scoop out a pretty large amount of mixture onto either aluminum foil or wax paper. You can even do it on a dish just as long as it's a non-stick surface. Depending on how big you make it, the cookies, you'll have between 9 to 12 for each batch. After you're done scooping out the cookies, you're going to want to let that sit for about 40 to 15 minutes in room temperature. You do not need to put it in the refrigerator or in the freezer. Just let them sit out and cool down. And this batch looks like it made about 9 cookies. And so when you're done with that, just like I said, let them sit and enjoy.
Okay, done. Go.
Why did you take
320.
329?